Hey everyone, and welcome to Ginger Prime, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, Soul Nation. Thanks for being a part of an elite 6% who've hit that subscribe button over here at Ginger Prime, so thank you so much for your support. Today we're doing Live Letter 61 Summary. In this case, I'm going to summarize the best and most important things that you need to know about patch 5.4 or what we learned from the latest live letter. We're also going to react a little bit to the trailer. I'm going to kind of play that as well. If you are worried about spoilers, maybe come check this video out in the future. There's going to be some spoilers, some speculations, lots of discussion. And as always, I want to know your thoughts, whether you're excited, whether you're looking forward to seeing what we see in turn 11 and 12 with the Eden Raid. There's so much to talk about, so much to cover, and I do thank you for spending time here in this video. It should be quite a long one. You can always check the playlist header to be able to jump to specific sections. You can go watch the full one over at Work to Game, or you can check out Game Club for various highlights of the different sections and our reaction to it in real time. But let's go ahead and dive in. I want to give you guys the information right away. December 8th is the day you need to plan for being able to play through the 5.4 story. Some of the stuff, some of the content, Blue Mage we knew is coming in 5.45. We'll go into a little bit more detail on that. The other dates that you need to know is February 5th. If you're here in the West, if you're a part of like Europe, I think it's technically February the 6th. They're doing their 14-hour broadcast, which kicks off after they kick that off 30 minutes later. We're going to see their big announcements. This is where I think we're going to get our 6.0 announcements, maybe new platform announcements, PS5, things like that. Also probably, I'm assuming Xbox because I keep hearing that it's coming. I hear that it was supposed to be announced Xbox version at our North American Fan Fest when they announced 6.0, but all that being delayed, expect that kind of news coming around February, if not sooner, through another event or something like that. So that's the dates that you want to know. December the 8th, February 5th, lots of things, lots of movement moving on that should be really exciting. So with those dates out of the way, from a contents perspective, as a summary before we dive into the trailer itself, obviously new story quest, which is going to kind of take us into Fandango, I like to call him. His storyline, what's going on with the Asians there. Where is this going to go? Where's this going to lead? What's going on with Xenos? Things like that. That's where the themes of the patch are going to be. We're going to see Matoya's Reflect. This is the new dungeon story. You're not going to be able to take Reen in with you because it's happening on the source, but we're going to obviously have our trusts that are handy to be able to go into the new dungeon. The new weapon is the Emerald Fight, Sorrows Were Lit. Note that that's going to continue that storyline, so I cannot wait to see where that goes. Lots more voice acting, a lot of real cool lines in all languages, as Yoshi P has said. Then we also have an Unreal Fight. Shiva's going away. Titan is coming into place, scaled up to level 80, and you cannot resurrect if you get knocked off the edge, so just note that. We'll also go through the live translation here, which you're actually seeing on the screen just right in a second. And then the Eden's Raid, this is where we're getting into spoiler territory. Looks like our first fight is with the Cloud of Darkness. We're going to the World of Darkness, at least the 13th shard. At least for the first fight, what they showed off. Lots of rumors kind of point to maybe Griever being the next fight after Cloud of Darkness. Maybe people are assuming Ultima Sia as a part of this. And then the 12th fight ends up being something designed by Nomura. He says the artwork is so good it should be used in PR, but he does not want to spoil it whatsoever. So we're not going to see that artwork used for PR purposes. It's going to be something as a gift to all of us. You do need to complete the 5.3 patch to be able to take part in this raid. That's how important it is. Then patch 5.45, Blades of Gunhildr is continuing. This is the Relic storyline. This is probably when we might even see the new equivalent of BA. We'll cover that here in more details in a little bit. Job adjustments job adjustments for Monk. We're going to see Grease Lightning turn into a trait. Looks a lot faster to play Monk. A lot of adjustments to the skills. Again, we'll go over all that here in more detail. You can also check the highlight as we did that as well. And Blue Mage level cap going to 70 in patch 4.545. Dyslexia getting the best of me. So we're going to see more of that. Now, 545, I would expect that's going to happen sometime in 2021. Most likely January or early February, but also in conjunction with February 5th being another big day, I can expect to see some information around the future of Final Fantasy XIV around that time as well. So lots more updates. The cool thing, I think, the Duty Finder, Level Sync, and Undersized Party are being separated. Undersized Party means you're not going to use matchmaking, and then Level Sync was always tied into that. So now you can actually do no matchmaking, but not being level synced in specific content. So that's actually, I think, really handy to kind of play around with that. So hopefully this will be a lot of fun for us to play around with and be able to kind of turn Level Sync on and off. So it's with that, I want to jump in right now into the trailer itself. Should probably turn on the audio so you guys can hear it as well. In this case, let me go ahead and turn down that so it's not blasting you guys. So what you're hearing here is this is Fandaniel, and you also see the Creative Business Unit 3. This is the new logo, which we saw for Final Fantasy XVI, and he is obviously walking in a area of flames, lots of purple fire right there. I love this so much. I can't wait to see what our interaction with this is. Now, lots of speculation over this. Lots of speculation. This might be Bahamut Neo, or Neo Bahamut if you're not dyslexic and can, learn how to speak.
And may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
Yes, obviously in the body of a Psy. Now this is probably from the Sorrows Over Lit storyline right here.
Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble.
And then we see our first glimpse of Emerald Weapon, which just looks amazing. See those hands and orbs on the side. An angry Ora. Oh, get over here, child. So a lot of this feels like it's, obviously from a story and a trailer perspective, weaving in different pieces of it. A lot of this feels like it's part of the Sorrows Over Lit storyline. We see Nero making his return, his triumphant return into Shadowbringers. Matoya and Matoya.
I dare say.
And a giant pig, guys. Come on, this is amazing. Alright, so a lot of this seems to be from the raid, the new Blades of Gunhilder. I'm wondering if a part of this is what we're seeing as a part of the Baldesian Arsenal, and for the new name, it escapes me, that some of Regalia. Anyway, either way. A giant crocodile.
What in the world is that?
Now, I'm thinking this has more mainline story, as we're getting voice acting with all the towers. And I think this is going to be, definitely the new it's 24 man for normal, 48 for Savage. All you have to do is complete the normal mode for the story for the Blades of Gunhilder.
That it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
Man, they know how to do these trailers. Yes!
Whatever stands in our way.
And people were questioning about that Chung-Li monk move. Just note to self, like it has been seen. And it could be just a part of the monk adjustments. I've been waiting to put together my monk level 80 guide. Once we see all this, yeah. Oh yeah. So here's the raid. Here's that's the Cloud of Darkness. And Yoshi P goes into it where the panels disappear if you stay on them too long.
Your time draws near. Farewell, servant of light.
Yeah, beautifully well done, Yoshi. Good job, team. One of the things he did comment on is he loves how the trailer transitions into the artwork of the patch. And so that's, I think, really extremely important. And obviously we get the flames here that we saw at the opening of the trailer. So we got some beautiful screenshots here. I love that it also kind of showed off the room in the Ascians, the Hall of the Ascians, and it was empty. All in all, I think that was pretty impactful. Showing off some Blue Mage adjustments here. You can see kind of some some kicks and some abilities. So Blue Mage is getting like 24 new spells going up to level 70 in this case, and some new Blue Mage artwork, some armor that's specific, some relic stuff that's specific for the Blue Mage themselves, highlighting in on the Flame Ball. Again, if you guys aren't a part of the Reddit community, as a part of the Discord, you can also go check this out for yourself. Reddit should have the link to their Discord. So you can go to the Final Fantasy subreddit in this case. All right, continuing on into more details. Thanks, guys, if you're still hanging out here with me. today. We kind of covered the summary, so the first part of the live letter is them going back through and summarizing everything. We're getting some ocean fishing adjustments, so we're going to see a new route that's going to lead into just, more options for ocean fishing. There's going to make some changes to fish eyes and some more adjustments to the fisher itself, just to try to make things a little bit easier to get into it. Now, the final phase of the Ishgardian Restoration is going to be set to kick off in 5.41, which leads us to believe we might see housing in 5.5. No confirmed date. Yoshi P laughed when he was talking about, hey, it's literally going to be something where, it depends on the players if they get it done. It's all dependent on the players who are rebuilding all of this stuff, again, to have all of that done. The Explorer mode for dungeons, you saw that slightly here. If I scroll back up to the UI picture itself, you see how level sync and party, undersized party are now separate. You also have your Explorer option there, in which you can go into currently just the new dungeons. They'll look to add it to the older dungeons with a couple updates so that you can take pictures. You can go in with a 4-man group. You can do your limit breaks, do some things, exploration of the dungeon itself, and be able to take some pictures for your G-pose, and then be able to kick off any kind of limit break, things like that. I think this is going to be really interesting to see how people kind of use that for it. Now, they also show off some of the raid gear. Like, if you look at just the design of the gear, it looks really, really good. You could see tank. You can also see, it looks like in this case, maybe a ninja. Yeah, ninja's got those weapons, or maybe this is the ninja. I'm confused. Either way, these are some awesome weapons, some awesome gear. Who would this be? Anyway, either way, Black Mage looks really sick with a mace as a part of the weapon itself. Samurai, you can see that right there, and then Astrologian, very Asian base. It feels very Asian in its regards. Red Mage, you can see that mask, very menacing, very like Asian influence in this regard. World of Darkness, maybe. And then obviously the raid. So people are speculating this is Cloud of Darkness. This is the World of Darkness returning back to the 13th Shard. Yoshi P showed off that as you stood on the different panels, that they would disappear if you stayed on them for too long. I thought that was a really interesting mechanic. You can see the grid here, and then you can see the panels being disappeared. And as they stand on it, you'll see this increase in in speed, thus removing the panel. Pretty cool stuff, in my opinion. Then we've got showing off various job adjustments. So regarding all the jobs, no nerfs to Sam's. So they're saying they're not really nerfing anything. Dragoon, Bard, Scholar, and they'll see slight increases. Not all jobs are getting buffed, but a few. Red Mage is also getting adjusted, getting a buff. Big adjustments to Monk, though. So you're going to actually not have to worry about keeping up your Grease Lightning. They try to reduce the stress on players in this case, and the concept was to reduce the burn stress that comes with Grease Lightning, but keep a similar play feeling. And so Grease Lightning is going to become a trait that you learn by just leveling up. And so you're not going to actually lose your stacks anymore. Potencies are being increased in terms for increasing damage, the effect being removed from Grease Lightning. You can see some examples here. The effects of actions that maintain or consume stacks of Grease Lightning have been adjusted. So Form Shift is now going to grant Formless Fist. This is going to allow you to execute any of the actions regardless of form. Your Tornado Kick is now going to be used at any time. Potency recast times have been adjusted. Six-Sided Star now increases movement speed for a short duration as time. Six-Sided Star also has a very high potency. They've increased your movement speed for 5 seconds, and there are more changes. These are just 3 as an example. And if you use this opportunity, it goes and shows off 5.4 Monk in action, and watching it in action was really quite spectacular. Very fast to see him move around and just basically perform his skills and do his combo. So I honestly thought it was really impressed. Can't wait to try it myself, go hands-on with it. I've already got it leveled to level 80, so it's going to be really interesting to see how it feels compared to the first version of it playing out. Then they went into a long explanation of Triple Triad and how it literally works. Now, they've made a lot of adjustments as a part of what tournaments look like. And so just like we've seen with ocean fishing, they're going to have these tournaments and allow you to do a lot more with how you manage tournaments. And then they also added this random deck option. So as a part of the open tournaments, it looks like that's just going to, everybody's just going to get random decks. You're going to have to play, you're going to get points, and that's going to be how that plays out. But you can still do and you can actually use that rule as a part of private games and all that. Now, if the goal is to fill like a tournament with 8 people to play and get as many points as possible within that kind of time frame. And if they don't have enough people to fill as part of the 2-hour tournament, they'll fill it with NPCs. So there's always going to be some kind of thing to do. And I actually really excited about this. I personally hope that the Triad tournament is on the off hour from the Ocean Raid. So if you really just kind of want the fish, play Triple Triad, you could do so every hour on the hour. So we'll have to see how that plays out. New deck builder options, just kind of showing off the different options for the different cards and how that plays out. And then as a part of it, the new tournament, like we were talking about the tournaments used to be held every 2 weeks Earth time, rankings based on points earned after 20 matches. That's now shifting to tournaments held every 2 hours, and they match with 8 players and rankings based on points earned after 3 matches. So big adjustments there. Open tournaments are held every 2 hours with rewards offered to participate. Players will have 30 minutes to register in the Gold Saucer. Players are matched into groups of 8 and earning as many points as they can within 3 matches. In the event there are less than 8 players, the NPC participants will fill the spots, and the draft rule is always in effect for these open tournaments. Now, invitational tournaments formed by freely between players with no rewards offered to participants. Players can register to participate in the Duty Finder. Like open tournaments, players must earn as many points as possible within 3 matches. In the event that there are less than 8 players, NPCs will also fill in invitational tournaments, and up to 4 advanced rules can be set by the party leader regarding invitationals. And then they kind of show off some, they had a break. They showed off some custom videos made by the community, some really cool stuff. Highly recommend you go check that out and give that a watch when you have the time. And when he returns, scrolling, keep those then he opens up with Titan Unreal, saying that it's just like, they were thought about making it where you can resurrect, but then they decided they keep it exactly like it is. So good luck to each and every one of you, and try not to get knocked off. And he kind of showed that, that fight with the extreme version of Titan synced to level 80. Then we see the emerald weapon, and he highlights a lot about the wheel or the panels. But just like anything, he's like, those look pretty sturdy, don't they? But we'll have to see how that plays out, whether it's the normal or the extreme. You might see some panels that end up breaking. Then he dives into the new treasure trove, and this is where we've seen this before in Stormblood, but you can see here the shifting oblettes of Liga. And you could see this is that spinning the wheel. If you guys haven't done this content, it is some of the best. And when it drops, when this finally does get released, you'll have a highlighted or a heightened chance of getting this stuff to play. So just note that if you get a map, you get a portal, and you go in, most likely it's going to be this, what you're going to experience for a little while. And you go until you get kicked out, which you did. And we're all laughing regarding streamer luck. So from here went into collectible and ethereal reduction changes. This is essentially talking about the new collectible system. Some details of just trying to make it a little bit easier, a little bit more easy to manage. And then that kind of leads right into the Ishgardian Restoration update. This is the 4th and the final phase of it. And essentially the highest crafting job, so let's say carpenters or something, and they're the most contributing part on your server, they're going to get a special thing as a part of the Ishgardian Restoration, who helped rebuild and clean everything up. Now he says that again, it's planned because it's really up to the players, and he kind of laughs about that. From here, then they show off again the exploration mode, and check it out. Like, I think this is the new, if we're going to get a mount this Christmas, this is an amazing mount. You're actually in the snowman, and it is a sight to behold. You can see another screenshot here poking out of the snowman. So freaking cool. There's also this chocolate or mud-based mount, and then this is actually a special promotion regarding Japan, and they're going to have promotions at set point coming to NA and EU. So just keep an eye out that this is not available for anybody outside of Japan at the moment. And then they show off Umbrella and freaking wings, guys. This is insane. Now, this is not a mount. This is just like our umbrellas. So this is just something that you can kind of add to your character. And we were all kind of like hoping that at some point we could see that as a mount. But this could open up a lot more ways to collect different things to augment your character. Personally, wasn't really thrilled about umbrellas. Really excited that we're seeing some of that. And then he showed off some new minions. You'll see a little gold gerbil right there. And then this is where they're kind of doing a tour of the dungeon itself, and that's essentially where they're showing off how you can do limit breaks and do different things like that. All right, hopefully that makes a lot of sense. It's highly, like, again, the summary. If you guys want to go spend 3 hours, watch the whole dang thing, link should be somewhere in the description for you. So in 5.4X, this is where we're going to start to see Deblorum Regane. This is essentially where you have a 24-man, which is the normal mode, a 48-player mode, which is Savage, and that can only be done through the Party Finder. This is where you're going to need lost actions. So a part of, playing out, and probably maybe a good time to go farm up lost actions would be now, or purchasing them off the market board. Just note that this is going to be kind of a key aspect to playing it out. And so then he talks about how raise actions in Savage are going to be limited. So you might be losing players one by one. but there's actually far more in BA at the, kind of like how it ended with Eureka. So just note all that's happening. Now, Save the Queen's also going to get an additional field content update in 5.5. So you're going to want to try this out in 5.4, but if you can't clear Savage during 5.4X, and he puts X because he doesn't know exactly when this is dropping, you can make your character gear stronger in 5.5, and so the new Save the Queen field content is actually going to allow you to go back into the content itself. Not that it's getting easier, but just players are going to be stronger, so it means you might be able to survive certain mechanics and things like that. So just note that's how it's going to be. The Alliance raid is trash boss, etc., and it's similar here. So just note that the trash mobs are going to actually feel really strong, as opposed to kind of just normally when you're playing through it as a kind of 24-man within the current existing system. So this is what that is playing out into. Savage is not required, but you do need to clear the normal mode, and that's for the big updates. Then he jumps into housing. You can see some boxes for flowers, some more like cooking. You see some milk cartridges, cutting board, things like that. And you can see this house looks incredible. Like the trellises on the side look amazing. I really love the design of that and how that house looks. You see some casings for your gear and displays for weapons and things like that. So that's really impressive. And then you see this new emote that's called Curse. You see this kind of little face on there. So lots of new emotes to show off. What was really impressive was the paint emote. So you can see pink and blue, and they say they got more planned for that. And we don't have, it looks like a screenshot of the blue itself, but the joke is that you can now have gender reveal parties within Final Fantasy XIV. So you're not blowing up your house and setting the world on fire. So that's, a plus in that regards. Then he goes into the crafting showing off, and he had a lot of streamer luck. Just putting it out there. So he showed off how long it would take to kind of manually like multi-meld, and he got some really lucky melds, and then essentially showed it how long it would take to kind of do a big meld. So he spent about 100 materia on this, and just note that he feels like it's actually probably going to be a lot worse. So he kind of said, hey, don't expect that this to be easy or that you're going to have the same luck as me. So it kind of feels like he set like a bad precedent. This is where then he goes into the announcement showcase that we stated at the beginning of this video, February 5th. So you can check that out, 5:30 p.m. PST. So that's going to be 7:30 Central Time, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what they've got planned. Announcements, we should see a trailer, much more, lots of cool merchandise, lots of cool stuff to show off. And again, we have this as a highlight over on Game Club if you guys want to get in and get our thoughts about it. But some pretty cool stuff overall. And here they are with the tweet with checking out the different moves. Let's let this play out. So here's the monk changes. There we go, I'll lower that. And Yoshi P joked that he's a white belt in this case, so just note that he's a black mage main. So him playing as a monk, he's like, I'm just a white belt. Guys, don't hate me. All right, so that's going to wrap it up, the summary. Hopefully this was interesting and like you got the details that you were looking for. Hopefully you found something fun about this. If you did, let me know. If you feel like I earned it and you earned your subscription, let me know so I can welcome you officially to the Soul Nation. Thanks for all who joined us live over Work to Game. Thanks for everybody for your different subs, for all the different content. My name is Brian. This is Ginger Prime. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care. This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.